Faith Dipped Chocolate, Chapter 9, Instant Disaster. Leslie smiled as she measured her ingredients into a rainbow of small glass bowls. The dishes were a wedding gift from her sister, who was a gourmet cook of some note. She ran her finger around the smooth glass rim of a bowl, the color of pure turquoise. Just touching its cool surface gave Leslie confidence in her cooking ability. Squaring her shoulders, Leslie removed a set of russet-colored ramekins from her cupboard and placed them to the side of her stove. She and her husband, Joe, were newlyweds, and this was Leslie's first attempt at a dinner party. The set of her jaw clearly illustrated her determination. Does that look determined? Everything had to be perfect. A prime rib roast simmered amid red potatoes and savory vegetables, while a cleverly arranged antipasto, I don't know what that is, antipasto, antipasto, chilled in the fridge. All that remained to be done with the chocolate custard dessert. With the hint of steam rising from the edge of the double boiler, Leslie began combining the ingredients her cookbook listed. Sugar, shaved chocolate, and heavy cream were carefully heated until the mixture swirled into luscious chocolate ribbons. She whisked the egg yolks into the turquoise bowl. This was the tricky part according to the recipe. If you add the yolks too fast, the eggs could scramble and ruin the custard. Leslie took a deep breath. With her left hand, she poured a small amount of the eggs into the warm mixture. With her right hand, she worked the whisk, incorporating the yolks into the sugar, cream, and chocolate. The corners of her mouth turned upward slightly. The mixture was blending beautifully. She poured in a bit more yolk and whisked again. Her smile broadened as her confidence soared. Clearly, this was not as hard as the cookbook implied. Leslie glanced at the clock. If she hurried this along just a bit, she would have time to unpack and wash the beautiful lead crystal napkin rings Aunt Alice had given them. It would add the perfect touch to the special dinner. Leslie poured the remainder of the eggs into the warm pot just as the phone rang. "Hi, Leslie. Tim and I are looking forward to coming tonight. Anything we can bring?" "No, I've just got everything under control." Leslie had only turned her back on the stove for a moment. From behind her, she now heard a strangled gasp of the custard overheated. Dropping the phone, Leslie dashed for the stove and began madly whisking the contents of the double boiler. Leslie, are you there?" her friend called from the dangling phone. With a huge sigh, Leslie removed the pot from the burner, turned off the stove, and returned to the phone. "Sorry about that, Carol," she said. "I was making chocolate custard for our dessert, and now it's ruined." "Really? You were only on the phone for a second. How did that happen?" "You have to beat egg yolks into the mixture of warm cream and sugar. If you don't keep stirring it, or if you pour the eggs in too fast, they don't blend. They cook. Instead of custard, I have sweet, creamy chocolate scrambled eggs. Yuck." "Hey, you still want to bring something tonight?" "Sure. How about bringing a half-gallon of chocolate chunk ice cream for dessert?" Shortcuts and moments of distraction can take their toll on all of us. A ruined dessert can be replaced, but the past has shown me I must be more than vigilant when it comes to matters of faith. Therefore, since we are all surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay down aside every weight and the sin that clings so closely, and let us run with perseverance the race that is set before us. Hebrews 12:1. Fun fact. When baking, you can often substitute one type of baking chocolate for another. You can use 3 level tablespoons of unsweetened cocoa powder plus 1 tablespoon of vegetable shortening, or 1 square, equivalent to 1 ounce, of unsweetened baking chocolate, or 1 envelope, 1 ounce, of pre-melted unsweetened chocolate. Well, there you go. We just learned something new if you didn't already know.